many attempts, the UFC have finally booked Carlos Ulberg versus Dominick Reyes. It's going to be in Australia. Very strange fight. I really did not expect the UFC to go down this path. And I kind of think Carlos Ulberg is in a bit of a situation where he could have sat out and wait for a title shot, but you have to give him credit in taking this kind of step down in the rankings. And Dominick Reyes, man, we all love Dominick Reyes. We all thought Dominick Reyes beat John Jones, and he's getting a bit of a step up now compared to like a Nikita Krylov, and Dustin Jacoby and Anthony Smith. He's on a 3-fight win streak though, and the whole MMA world just smiles, just fucking smiles when you hear that. Okay, um, we'll start with Ulberg. Obviously, he had a good run. You know, he's coming off that Jan Blachowicz win in London back in March in the Edwards card. I really was like kind of confused as to what Carlos Ulberg was going to do next, because you could have easily just sat out and waited and said, "Nah, be him." And you know, you could have argued if he had waited until the Pereira versus Ankalaev rematch happened that he was the number one contender. But then again, you know, you're going to be in there with like, you know, Yuri Prochazka versus Yuri Prochazka's on that card as well, and he's going to be taking on fucking my brain is just gone completely. Khalil Roundtree. Oh my god, I can't believe it. I was thinking of his name there. He's facing Khalil Roundtree, so that could arguably be a number contender fight. Maybe Ulberg wanted to get kind of a one up. You know what I mean? I beat Blachowicz, I fought down, but then again, like I guarantee it'll just make a number contender fight. See, I like to think of this as like what we call a fatal 4-way. You have Dominick Reyes and you have Carlos Ulberg. You have Yuri Prochazka and you have Khalil Roundtree. Okay, the winners will probably fight each other. You never know what's going to happen in the Ankalaev versus Pereira fight, okay? If Pereira wins, you're guaranteed going to get a trilogy. Like, that's just going to happen. And then you can almost guarantee the winners are going to fight each other for that number contender fight. That's what I want to see. I like seeing even Ulberg fighting down. Now, he's going to beat Dominick Reyes. He's going to knock out Dominick Reyes. I feel like that's quite common. I don't really like Dominick Reyes on a 3-fight win streak, and he's definitely looked good, and he is finishing fights. You know, Anthony Smith's a good win, Dustin Jacob is a good win, Nikita Krylov is a very good win. But apart from that, you know, are you really betting on Dominick Reyes at this stage of his career? Like, you really betting on him? And you know, as much as the form is there, this is actually a really good fight. I do love this fight, I must say. I really was not expecting this. Like, fair play to Ulberg. Now it is, like I said, to take this fight, but the fact it's in Australia as well, I think played a massive factor into why he took it. Let's be honest. Do you know what I mean? Like if this is in Vegas as a main event, he mightn't take it. But the fact and the UFC were struggling to get a fucking fight night main event, and there was like rumors of like if JDM had won against Bilal that this was going to be a pay per view, and then you know Makhachev was going to fight. But now it looks like Makhachev versus JDM was going to happen in MSG in November, which is fucking sweet. But this is a nice little main event. Now, if you can stack a card around this, that'd be great. I wouldn't mind seeing, like, obviously, I think Cape versus Kai Kara France to be on this card. Dan Hooker versus. You could match Dan Hooker kind of any way you really want. You know, you could do Arman Tsarukyan as a co-main event, but I feel like that would kind of be the main event. Do you know what I mean? I feel like if Dan Hooker's going to really get in a number one contender fight, you know, he's going to have to fight someone that's in the fucking main event. They're not going to do Paddy Pimblett, Dan Hooker on this card. Absolutely no way. No way in this stage of kind of the landscape is Paddy Pimblett going to be anything but a big pay-per-view co-main event or a main event for fight night. And I guarantee you it's going to be a pay-per-view. There's no way they're going to put him on a fucking, you know, co-main event. Or sorry, just a main event of a fight night. They're not going to do that unless it's in Liverpool, which the UFC probably ain't going to go back there. So that kind of a thing could happen. Stylistically, I think Ulberg is going to fucking be a bit too kind of clean on the feet. I feel like he's going to have the openings. Dominick Reyes' chin, I will never trust again in my life. I just won't. Reyes can definitely land at range in this fight. He's probably a little bit better of a boxer than Carlos Ulberg. Actually, I think he's a better boxer. Just the chin, I don't trust. I do trust Ulberg's kind of movement around the cage, kind of going circling around to be able to find shots with the kicks. It is 5 rounds, so I don't think he'll get Reyes out there too early. I maybe think in the 3rd round he might be able to find a shot. But you know, Ulberg's on form. Ulberg's on form. He does have hands. He does have power. There's so many fights I've seen Ulberg. There's a few fights I've seen Ulberg like an underdog, and he goes in there and chins the guy in the 1st round. So I feel like he's an absolute beast. I feel like he's a beast. I feel like he'll get this one done. It's going to be sad to see Dominick Reyes kind of lose again, but if Dominick Reyes is able to pull this one off, we are looking at Dominick Reyes in a number contender fight and potentially fighting for the belt again, which would be kind of tragic. Actually, very tragic to see Dominick Reyes versus like Pereira, we all know that's just going one way. Like that would be that would be so sad. That would be a guaranteed knockout badly, like really fucking badly. Okay, this isn't the Dominic Reyes of old, bro. I know he's on a 3 fight win streak. I know that. And these boys have been booked twice already. This is the third time. Maybe we're looking at Khabib Tony of fucking light heavyweight here, but it's a good fight. I like it. It makes sense in ways. If Roundtree versus Prohaska was not booked, I would have said Ulberg made a mistake taking this fight because he can lose. Reyes can win, but the fact that that's booked and the fact that Pereira might win, if Pereira doesn't win, it's going to be interesting to see because they won't give Prohaska a title shot. I feel like Ulberg will get a title shot with a win here because I don't see them giving Khalil Roundtree a title shot. It's sticky one still. It's a sticky one still. I don't really know what way they're going to mix and match this whole division. I think if Pereira wins, I guarantee you're going to see the winner fight the winner. But I think both guys have let's say Praska beats Roundtree, second round TKO, and Ulberg knocks out Reyes in the first. Obviously, there's going to be the argument of, well, the winner should fight the winner, and then we have a real number contender. But do you really want to see Prohaska fight for another belt? I know it's sick, the Ankalaev fight's sick, but we've seen him fight for so many belts. I want to see someone new in there, and I think Carlos Ulberg is the future of light heavyweight. So it makes more sense to me to see that fight than the Yuri Prohaska fight, if I'm being honest with you. But let me know what you think down below, and thanks.